The issue of the Kotel right now is front and foreface in front of the Jewish people in Israel and the Jewish people in Diaspora. We all know the background, we all know the compromise, we know that the government, the cabinet froze that particular issue. The national institutions, of which the AZM is part of, being a Jewish agency, WZO, have been rather out front for the first time on these kind of issues, something called Jewish pluralism. I'd like to ask each of the respondents to please give us their point of view on the issue of the Kotel, its relationship to Israel diaspora relationships, and how you see this moving forward vis-a-vis the entirety of Klal Yisrael. In 2 minutes each, please. Because if we can't talk about these things, it's not worth getting together.
Hey, do you want me to start?
Yeah, let's do it, if you don't mind.
So,
Is the microphone on? All right, there's a microphone.
You're all on now.
Thank you.
No whispering.
Great.
if I had to pick a central challenge to the Jewish people and the Zionist movement, no?
A little closer to you. Josh, move a little closer. Sorry.
Okay.
It's not on. Now it is.
Good to be back in the palace. If I had to pick a central issue to, there we go. Okay. So, 2 minutes are up.
Everybody will give you the 2 minutes. Yeah. Eli will give you the 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
I'll say it like this. The fact that our movement, headed by Rabbi Gilad Kariv in Israel and Anat Hoffman, and here in North America with Rabbi Rick Jacobs, spent a great deal of time, energy, and effort, and I would even venture to say political capital, in fighting for the deal that was agreed and then voted upon in the Kotel in January of 2016, and in the past, almost 20 months now, or even longer, for its implementation. That we did that, I'm proud that we did that. However, I want us to look at it as a symbol. That the Kotel is not just about the Kotel. It's not just about having an egalitarian prayer space and saying that this is a symbol for the entire Jewish people and there should be one wall for one people. And I want to point out that we're not there to say we should be here instead of someone else. No, the idea is that we can all have a space there. That's really important. However, if we only see it for that, then we've missed the bigger picture here. Because this is a struggle for the soul of the state of Israel. This is a struggle for what it means to be Jewish in the Jewish state. And there's a struggle for who has the authority to determine what religion and what Judaism should look like in the Jewish state. I want to say one last thing about the big question you asked about religious, Israel diaspora relations. I think we have to open up a new chapter right now. We just heard speech after speech about how well Israel is doing. So we have to evolve beyond the relationship where Israel sees the United States or North America as its ATM. Okay? Let's say it like this. We as American Jews have a great deal to learn from what Jewish Israeli society has built. And I think that Israelis have a great deal to learn from the communities that we've built here. Just ask yourselves the question. How many of you are synagogue-going Jews? Okay. How many of you pay dues to those synagogues? How many of you receive government support for your synagogues and your institutions? Maybe security, maybe it's a non-profit tax, and your rabbis take percentage. Okay? That's the model that we have to start exporting to Israel, and to say we have to build this organically now and to separate religion from state there.
Thank you. Sarrae.
So I want to second a lot of what Josh said, but really the issue is...
Into the microphone.
Is this better? No? Is it on?
Trying to silence women's voices in Israel.
Okay. Is it on now?
Yes. Now. Yeah.
Okay, so it's a really complicated issue. That clearly the symbolism of the Kotel is overwhelming. And for those of us who have memories of 67 or who have seen the pictures of 67, it's incredibly important because it symbolizes our freedom. It symbolizes the sense of Israel being our homeland and our connection with the past. It's really complicated, and it's really more, what Josh says, it is about the soul of the Jewish people. And it's what happens when religion becomes politicized. It leads to the abuse of religion and very bad politics. And none of that plays well for us, because we want to love Israel. And part of loving Israel means believing that the Judaism that we believe in is part of Israel. And it's not. And that's a big problem. On the other hand, some of it is that if you look at what's been going on at the Ezrat Israel, there were more than 1,000 different services that took place there last year. And lots of people, not just Americans and not just people from all over the world, but Israelis were able to go as families to celebrate a simcha, to celebrate a bar or bat mitzvah, and there was a place. But we want the world to know that that place exists, and that that place is equal, and that our Judaism is equal. And that's what it means to us. It means that the Judaism we believe in is valid and is as legitimate as the Judaism of the Rabbinate.
Thank you.
So my heart goes out to those who feel an emptiness when they go to the Kotel because of this issue. Personally, I see Robinson's Arch as a wonderful solution. I think it's fabulous that the Reform and Conservative have a place where they can feel comfortable, where they can daven. I was also sorry to see that they could not expand the space over there for larger crowds. To be honest, every time I've walked to the Kotel and I've looked down into that area, it's been empty. So I don't think it's helpful to disrupt the current circumstance that's going on at the Kotel for the last 70 years or hundreds of years that the Jewish people have been davening.
Please, everybody.
Is my mic stopping or?
No, you keep going.
So
I'll stop everybody else.
And I can add that there's a democratically elected government in Israel. For those who are challenged by this, should make a mass aliyah and let the people in Israel determine, let the government of Israel determine this matter. It's not for us in America to say what should go on there so that we can have 1,001 minyanim at Robinson's Arch. And I also think it's not helpful to have a separate entrance specifically at the Kotel to put it in the face of the religious people that are davening at the Kotel. It's just not nice. So that's my perspective, and that's my piece. Thank you.
I want to close this session with the recognition that this is one of the few places that this kind of discussion can take place. We have an opportunity, whether we agree or disagree with any one of the speakers, to show mutual respect, to listen very carefully, and over the course of the conference to speak individually, collectively with people who we don't have to be, who we don't normally see. It's not an echo chamber. And the more that we recognize that the plurality of our voices is the strength, that in the coming together, even with diverse points of view, with the bottom line that both Zionism and the State of Israel are elements of our love, our support, and our working together, the stronger that we are internally, the stronger we get externally, and I believe the better we can sell both Zionism and the State of Israel to everybody. So I want to thank the speakers very much.